everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into the NFL on EA Sports. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas, everybody. Today's matchup features two teams eager to come away with a late season win. It's the Cardinals going up against the Seahawks. So, with the call of this Week 16 matchup, let's hand it over to our commentators, Brandon Guyton and Charles Davis.
All right, Larry, thank you. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. Today, we've got a good NFC matchup on tap between the Arizona Cardinals and the Seattle Seahawks. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
First play of the drive, let's give credit all around. Excellent blocking, but the guy carrying the ball, he was the finisher. A really nice run.
Just a gain of a yard there, and now it'll be 3rd down. Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. And he motions the wide receiver. They'll run it now out of the gun. A great effort there to shed the contact, and it helps him pick up the first. It goes as a gain of 8, and it moves the chains.
On 3rd down, that's a good job of situational football and understanding where the first down marker was and getting there.
Now with the play clock about to expire, we get a whistle and a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Now let's go! No, check! Patriot! Leopard!
And the wideout in motion. On first down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline. So they took a shot on first down, but couldn't connect. Let's meet the starters on the defensive side of the football for Arizona.
And let's talk about Robert Kimdichie, their first-round pick out of Mississippi. I still remember him coming out of high school. An absolute terror, maybe the best high school prospect in the nation.
Here we go now.
People look to see if his motor is going to run high all the time, because when it does, he is something else.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So a 2nd down incompletion now brings up 3rd down.
We got three, fellas. Here we go now. 3, no. Check. Patriot!
And they'll send the slot in motion left. Now back to throw. A little track jump. Wide open receiver complete. And they convert on 3rd with a gain of 22. So there on that play, offensively, they were in the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play.
Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
Now they're coming up on play number 8 of this opening drive, but they're looking at a 3rd and long. The wide receiver moving to a new spot. Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. It's a pickup of 13, but they're still a bit short. and it'll be 4th down. So out now. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. And look at this. They're keeping the punter on the sideline. They're going to go for it here on the opening drive. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he is going to lose yardage here. He only needed a few inches, but they stop him behind the line. And this defense delivers a turnover on downs on the very first drive of the afternoon. Going to give this time to the tailback. And he is going to lose yardage here. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
The evaluation process in today's NFL does not take into account as much bulk as it does speed. And that's what we're seeing with the linebacker position. Those guys that can run, they can play at any spot because they can make plays on the opposite side of the line of scrimmage.
And with the play clock at 5, we're going to get a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. A little bit of ground to make up for the offense as they face a 2nd and 11. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
And when an offense is doing a nice job selling the play-action pass, a lot of responsibility shifts to the linebackers. They're the ones that have to determine run or pass and get to the proper places on the field.
And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. The wide receivers, often a very, very talented group, and that's the case here.
And they don't mind showcasing it either. Those guys love to be flashy, love to make big plays out in the open field. They will attempt to do so in this game.
And he's going to be met at about the 43. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? The Seahawks, here's their defensive lineup.
Luke Kuechly is absolutely amazing. Maybe the best middle linebacker in the game. Not only is he cerebral, this guy's athleticism is off the charts.
Let's see if they can convert here on 3rd and 3. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Eluding the pressure right. And some room to maneuver. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains.
On 3rd and short, not only did he get away from the rush and pick up a 1st down, he picked up a whole lot more than that. And how did he get it done? Evaded the rush, kept his poise, and then how about him directing traffic as he moved downfield to pick up extra blockers? A really nice run.
And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. In on the tackle there, Luke Kuechly.
And that's exactly what you want on a 1st down run. Pick up 5 yards, bring up 2nd and 5. The defensive line, though, they've got to figure out a way to out-leverage the guys up front because the offensive line is winning at the point of attack.
On 2nd down, Johnson. And some room to roam now. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. David Johnson with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Cardinals have taken the early lead. And he'll bang that one through. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. This will be taken in at the 1. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And on the last drive, they were in field goal range. They just opted not to kick it, didn't get it. How does that change the mentality this go around?
I don't think it changes much for the head coach because this is what he preaches all the time. Attack at all times in any spot on the field, and he likes touchdowns, not field goals. Now, your field goal kicker, you got to make sure you nurse him through and say, okay, don't worry about it. When we need you, you've got to be ready to go. And the team, of course, loves to see points on the board. So let's see if it changes a little bit if they're in the same spot again.
Yeah, we'll see what the decision is here if they get to that spot.
The good signal callers would never go back in the huddle and play the blame game because they need those guys to protect him. But on that last one, his offensive line, they lost their leverage very quickly, and that's why they were able to get to him and hit him as he tried to throw the football and force an incompletion.
All right, here we go.
He'll try again with the arm here on second down. Now they go screen. It's complete. Only a yard there. Sniffed out well defensively, and it brings up third.
In order for a screen pass to break big, a lot of things have to come together and be well executed. But all it takes is one small thing to go wrong and keep it from being a big game.
He's got time. And did he get the feet down? No, they'll say he did not. It's incomplete. A third down, he tried to stay in bounds, did all he could. He caught it, but was led a little bit too far.
Yeah, and that's always difficult, isn't it? Because you know half of your body is trying to stay behind while the other half is reaching out, trying to catch the football. The top half worked. It was the bottom half that was in question.
The Cardinal offense now making their way back out onto the field. And that recipe on their last drive that resulted in a touchdown looked pretty good, so they'll be hoping to do that once more.
And it takes me back to when we sat with the offensive coordinator and the head coach. They felt pretty good about their game plan and thought there were some holes in the defense, and they exploited them the last time out. Let's see if they can come back and put together a similar drive.
And we'll see if they can do just that.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. They'll say no gain on the play there. Now it'll be third down. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Ready to go now in the second quarter. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis. It's the Cardinals in possession of the football. They've got a third down and 5 to start things out. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
There's a completion to the tight end, and I think that we're looking at something out of central casting, frankly.
Absolutely.
I mean,
size, the hands.
Speed. I mean, can flat out run. You put that whole package together, you light up the eyes of an offensive coordinator, don't you?
Now they try the right side here. And he's got some space here. Look at this, middle of the field, a breakaway. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great play there with touchdown number 20 on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go, because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. Possible run anticipation. Here's the D-line sandwiches together. They'll set up to throw. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. So it goes as a fumble, but the key thing, not a fumble loss.
Yeah, that stat's big, isn't it? I mean, I remember watching teams play. The ball might be on the ground a number of times during the game, but the other team doesn't get it. That's a huge difference in the ball game. And in this case, they were able to retain possession.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Back 99. Here we go.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. Incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down. So it's third and long, and defensively not a real surprise there in the dime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking deep downfield. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked off by Dayon Buchanan. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Cardinals offense now works their way back onto the field. And they will simply, Charles, be looking to duplicate what they did last drive when they were able to push it in for 6.
And they hope it'll be that easy, right? To be able to take exactly what happened before, replicate it. They'd have to make a few additional changes along the way because I'm sure the defense will make some adjustments, but they've got to have great confidence having scored the last time out.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. And the offense there, the O-line, everybody really on offense, they were just manhandled at the point of attack.
Yeah, you could pretty much call them all out, couldn't you? And almost by name, right? That was a very tough sequence for the offensive line. But how about that defensive front creating a new line of scrimmage and creating a lost yardage possibility?
He'll drop to throw. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. And there they went crossing route against the zone defense. What do you think of that?
It takes real coordination between the passer and the receiver because you've got to read those zones and where the open spots are and be on the same page with the guy throwing the football. Because sometimes you're throwing it in front of the zone. Sometimes you're throwing it between the zones. Sometimes the receiver's going to just go and find a spot and what we call sit down and present himself to the quarterback and throw it there. It's a tough read, but when they're in sync, it's really effective.
Defense in a good spot. Let's see how the offense responds with a 2nd and 13 now. On play action, they'll throw. Trying to lay one up deep. And it's knocked away and incomplete.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had to fly, just sending the guy downfield with the in route accompanying it. What people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Well, this is taken in. It's complete. These coaches told us they wanted to take the top off this defense. They wanted to be able to stretch them downfield. They showed it pretty well there.
And they knew that if they were able to do that, it would open up everything else. But how did they truly get it done? Practice in the previous week, making sure they had a plan, fine-tuned before they put it into effect in the game.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Luke Kuechly combines speed, intelligence, toughness, puts it all together. It makes plays like one we just saw there. He may not be a big-time blitzer, but, boy, he knows how to pursue straight ahead and make plays in the run game.
Here we go now.
Back to throw here. Dancing to his left. Stays, and he fumbled it. It's on the ground. And his guys will take over at the 30-yard line. And the Seahawks get ready to trot out on the field. And following the interception, we'll see what they can put together on this drive.
I'm here, my old college coach right now. He always used to tell us before every game, the team making the fewest mistakes will win. What they're hoping is that that last mistake is their only one of the game.
Coaches, that's all they talk about, turnovers, right?
Minimizing those and maximizing opportunities.
And he'll get this up only to about the 33. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
We always like to talk about defense in terms of levels. First level defensive line, second level linebackers, third level defensive backs. On that run, that was what we call a first level run, and it was stopped by a second level player.
Now let's go.
The play action fake. They'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Their dangerous wide receiver. His first touchdown on the year. And the Seahawks get the quick strike touchdown. And that'll make it 13-7. The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This is taken at his 4. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. So out now come the Cardinals. And last drive, obviously not what you're looking for. You've got the lead. You've got to protect the football.
So in other words, someone got lucky because they've been moving the ball really well and wearing them down. In this case, though, giving up the football doesn't make them very happy. They can't wait to get back out there and atone for it.
Yeah, try to atone for it here on this drive. They'll come out throwing here on first down. He's going to let this one go deep. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
Second down now after the incompletion. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains.
I like watching the wide receiver screen because it's a real teamwork play. Because guess what? The guy catching the ball, he'll get all the credit. But how about the people up to block in front of him, either fellow receivers or offensive linemen? That makes that play a really nice timing play, and sometimes it can break big.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down.
I don't care what the emphasis is in the NFL at any given time. Every defense is still going to say their #1 goal every game is stop the run. And right now, they're not doing that, and that really chips away at your confidence.
And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. 3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
3rd down is the down. Both sides know they absolutely have to win. And the name of the game for the defense is pressure on the quarterback. But pressure on the quarterback with contact, that's how you end up winning it.
And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. Last time they were out, they scored. Still trailing here, though, so some work to do.
But it's okay in terms of mindset. Because they scored the last time, they're not quite as worried about being down on the scoreboard because now their confidence is a little bit higher. They feel like they've got something going, and they feel like they can attack again and put more points on the board.
Are you scoreboard watching if you're the offense, or are you just focused on this drive?
We wouldn't be telling the truth if we said that they didn't scoreboard watch. Everyone does it to some extent. But you've got to set it aside right now and just focus on this series.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Cardinals going to use another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And the D-line pinching together must be expecting the run. He'll look to throw. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to 3rd down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
Well, they've had a pretty frustrating first half here offensively, and then just continued there with that incompletion.
Yeah, definitely frustrating for them, but heartening for the other guys. Those stop troops, they're enjoying things right now because they've made it very difficult for them throughout the half.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds. Here's the Arizona offense now as they get set to take over. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And now here's a carry heading left. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game, and while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
See if they stay on the ground for second down. From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. Going for the deep ball. And that's caught inside the 30. Touchdown, Cardinals. A big play there as the first half is winding down. And the Cardinals are able to show off their quick strike ability. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here in the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
And he will get into the end zone to extend the lead by 2 more. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. As Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
All right, now, look at 56. Look at 56.
The slot man in motion right. They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Whenever I see a drop like that, I have to kind of take a step back and check myself a little bit. So used to seeing those big guys make big-time spectacular plays that when they drop one, I have to remind myself, we ask a lot out of these guys. Block and catch the football, not easily done in today's NFL.
And this will be incomplete. 1 second left to go. They got pressure there and only rushing 3.
And there's a defensive coordinator right now who is celebrating not just getting home with 3 there, but realizing if that's the type of pressure he can get in the entire game, then his pass defense is going to be excellent. He's dropping 8. Where are you going to go with the football?
They'll throw now on the final play. And he's going to go down. Couldn't get a throw off with the pressure. Maybe that was for the best, as that brings us to the end of this first half of play. So both teams have their marching orders, and we'll get going again here in quarter number 3. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. So here's the Cardinals offense now as they get set to start this third quarter. They built a good first half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him, so when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, it makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
It's a pickup of 6 and good enough to move the chains. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Well, good luck there as a ball carrier. You get handed that football, look up, oh, there's a big D tackle ready to swallow you whole for a loss.
Yeah, you kind of count on your guys to give you at least a little bit of time, a little bit of space to try and maneuver, but not on that one. And when you have a defensive tackle who's that strong, that agile.
David Johnson on his way. Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his second touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Cardinals will extend their lead. Not only touchdown number 2 for him, but a big run to boot. However, still trailing.
Still trailing, but not because of his efforts. Boy, he's playing really well, and I love his long speed there, right? Able to get out there and burst all the way to the end zone, and smart enough to keep the ball in his hands and get into the end zone for the touchdown. In 2016, on all levels of football, we're seeing guys drop it before the goal line. What's the rule, Brandon? Run into the goalpost.
That's right.
Before you drop the ball. There you go.
Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They're down in this game. A chance for the offense, though, to put something on the board, get some momentum here in half 2.
Try and get things kick-started for them. And you know at the half, they discussed how they were going to get that done. This is where scripting comes into play a lot of the time.
How many plays do you script coming out of the second half?
Most of the time in the first half, you're scripting 12 to 16. I think in the second half, you're really scripting more like 8 to 10. Kind of a starter or an opener, whatever terminology they use. Just something to get you off to a quick start.
Well, clearly one of his advantages as a passer is his height, sit back in the pocket, fired over the middle. That makes things tougher defensively, doesn't it?
It really does, because your goal is to move the quarterback off his initial spot when he gets his drop back completed. But when you have that type of height, he can stay in there. If he's willing to take the hits and just fire over the top, which saves him time and actually completes a play a little bit quicker than it normally does for a quarterback who has to slide and find open space to throw.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. Wide open receiver complete. 15 yards there for number 15.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
They'll look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, C.J. Mosley. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. So the D-line's going to spread out. They come out with one back and 3 tight ends. And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. They can't bring him down.
The weight room does work.
Touchdown, Cardinals. David Johnson, his 3rd touchdown of the game, 10th on the year. And the Cardinals now adding on to their lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. And out now come the Seahawks. Looked like they had something going last drive. Then the interception happened. Will they recover?
The memory they need to keep with them is that they did have something going. They were moving the ball on offense, had a nice sequence going. Don't worry about the other part. You can't get that back. Let's go back to what you were doing well before.
I thought you were going to say they need to have no memory, but remember the good part, forget the bad.
I like that even better.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And he's going to be out of bounds right at midfield. A really nice gain of 25 yards.
When you call a wide receiver screen, no matter how many blockers you get in front of the guy that catches the ball, there's still an aspect of the guy catching it, turning into a runner, breaking tackles and creating his own yardage, and he just did on that play.
And he's going to be intercepted, and he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. A great read, and it's picked off. And they will score. It's a pick 6 for the Cardinals touchdown. Well, when both guys went up for the ball, I just thought, who's going to come down with it? I didn't think he'd come down with it and then take it all the way for a touchdown.
That's battling, isn't it? Because normally, if both guys go up for it and come down with it, the tie goes to the offense. The defensive player didn't want it to be a tie at all. He wanted a little bit more, took it, and went the other direction.
And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And last time, decent field position through the pick six. Obviously costly.
But they can't afford to just bunker in now. All right, good field position means go ahead and attack on offense. Try and press the advantage a little bit. They just have to be better with the football on this possession.
So that didn't bother you too much last time?
No, because it's exactly what you're supposed to do. You can't have good field position, not try to take advantage of it. Sometimes the defense makes a good play, too.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And a hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. So a 3rd and 9 and 6 defensive backs out there in the dime.
Patrolling the passing lanes.
Lockett the man in motion. They'll set up to throw. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And wow, fortunately he was able to get it back, but it's left his guys in a bit of a hole here. They're backed up deep to start this drive.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
All right, here we go.
Now a handoff as they run left side. And he got blown up on that play. Back at the 20. It's a loss of 4 there, bringing up 2nd down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
Offense needs something here on 2nd down. It is 2nd and long.
Detroit's in there, Barney.
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And both guys were there, but it falls incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play. And guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed to get it done.
He's got pressure comes. He's taken down by the Seahawk defense. Eric Armstead in there to get him for sack number 9 now on the year. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now it's Lockett. It's a 49-yard punt, but subtract 9 there for the return. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. The Seattle offense now set to come back out on the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Offense comes to the line now, 1st and 10. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is caught. It's a big play there for Seattle. 42 yards. Well, even after all those interceptions, he's not deterred, still confident to go deep at work there.
I think all the old rules about playing that position still apply. If things go wrong, you still act like you're the best player out on the field. You still carry that supreme arrogance with you and continue to fire the ball. I've seen guys have games like this, and this is where you find out if you're great or not. Can you overcome some interceptions and still lead your team to victory?
Back to throw here. End zone caught. Touchdown, Seattle. Their big tight end. His 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
The kick unit for the Seahawks out there on the field, and we are ready to rock. This fielded at the 2. Oh, good hurdle. And a terrific return as they finally do stop him, but not before he's inside the 15. And the Cardinals getting set to trot out there now. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
And they'll go on the ground. And they'll get him down here at about the 5-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
If you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
And to give this time to the tailback. And he is in for 6. Touchdown, Cardinals. A great effort there. His 21st touchdown of the season. And the Cardinals add on. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. Now Catanzaro after the touchdown to kick it away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And they're hoping to capture some of that magic they had last time out when they were able to put together a scoring drive. But they're still down here, Charles.
Not the major concern, though, because of what you talked about. They scored the last time out. They feel good about themselves. They feel like their game plan is now in effect. They know how to attack and what plays they want to put together. But they've got to keep it moving in the right direction because, as you did note, they are down on the scoreboard.
And the catch is made here by Tyler Lockett. It's a gain of 14 there. And that'll be good for a Seattle first down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and, of course, foot dragging.
A little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
And he takes it down deep into Arizona territory. A huge play there on the screen pass. 55 yards. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. They'll give it to him right up the gut. He gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
Every team we ever talk to that continues to run the ball in a game, even when they haven't had much success, all talks about attrition, don't they? If you keep running it, eventually good things are likely to happen.
And he's got it. Caught in the end zone for the Seahawks touchdown. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Seahawks are able to strike for 6. And he puts it through. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This is taken at his 4. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And they were able to punch it in the end zone last time. They'll be looking to do that again here for the defense. Obviously, they'll be looking to stop them from punching it back in the end zone.
It always is punch-counter-punch, isn't it? And which team has the advantage? Well, let's just go back. Last time on offense, they rolled downfield, got into a good rhythm, You can see a little more bounce in and out of the huddle. You can see the sideline really get into the game. So defensively, you're thinking to yourself, how do we take that away from them? How do we get the advantage back? Let's see what they come up with. I think pressure is always the first way to go.
You love pressure.
I love it.
Let's see if they dial it up this drive. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop by a guy playing the defensive tackle position.
Third down now following the run. They come up in an empty set. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end. Looking to throw. Going right side here, and that's complete. Give them 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Everything about that play was beautiful. A great corner route where the receiver worked the defensive back inside and then broke back to the outside to the corner. But how about the throw by the quarterback? Anticipation on the break from inside to outside. He threw the football. As the receiver turned around, the ball greeted him.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And very little running room there. He did get a couple up to the 49.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things. But the defensive guys, hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
Again, it's Johnson. And he'll lose yardage here. Back at the 47. It's a loss of 2. Now third down.
Oftentimes when a guy has a game like this, he's going to take his offensive line out to dinner afterwards. But after a play like that, he may tell them, instead of getting the steaks, guys, we're going to have to go for the hot dogs.
They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he eventually goes down, but not before reaching the 30-yard line.
And they just hit another big completion there. And I think in days gone by in the NFL, you might have asked, is this a little bit of overkill? Is this rubbing it in? I don't think people feel the same way nowadays.
It's the age-old argument. Then you could say on the other side, if you're going to get angry about it, stop it, right?
Go ahead and stop me. And I think a lot of the times they just look at it like, let's just play the game. And how it turns out, it turns out.
And the offense moving in the wrong direction here now as they face a 2nd and 12. They'll give it to him right up the gut. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11.
Well, I think we know by now that every run is not going to be broken and get all the way to the end zone. But these short ones still have their value. You can still set up your play action and throw the football. You control the clock because you have the ball and they don't. And often the physicality sets the tempo for the game.
On 3rd down, Johnson trucks through him.
Oh, man, right through him.
A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
Well, I'd say that run's pretty emblematic of what we've seen all day long. No matter what they've done on offense, this offensive line has controlled the line of scrimmage, given them time to throw it, run it, do whatever they've wanted. That's why there are points up on the board. And right now, the psyche of the offense, we're in control, and we can do whatever we feel like doing out here on the field.
Well, they take him down, losing yardage back. Now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. And a really long drive here, and it goes on and on. They come out with 1 back and 3 tight ends. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it'll be 4th down. Now hang on here. Timeout called by the defense. That'll be their 3rd and final stoppage here as we step aside. And Catanzaro's kick is right through, and that will just add 3 more to a lead that's already out of hand. So it's 3 more points, and that widens things out even further here in the 4th.
Hey, in this league, you can never have too much. So if you're in range, grab the 3 whenever you can.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Here come the Seahawks now, set to take over on offense. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest,
don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard, realize how poorly everything went for us today, coaching, playing, the whole deal, and never forget it, because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again, and who knows? You may meet up.
He's got him in, complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. Well, we haven't been shortchanged on offense. Another fun play to watch there in the deep pass.
This game has the feel of, a turkey bowl, a Thanksgiving day. You know, when we get together this year and the Davises and the Gaudens get together, that's what our playbook's going to look like. Like they're drawing them up in the dirt, and so far it's working for both of them.
Now let's go.
They'll look to throw again. And that one got tipped, kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd.
I think the defenders have to feel pretty good. Even though the ball was tipped in the air and could have become a big play for the offense, they actually won one because the guy flinging it today, he's having quite the performance.
And he's going to be taken down here. Back across midfield, 3 yards away from midfield at the 47. And now here's a timeout defensively coming from the Cardinals. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it.
Here we go, Leopard! Leopard! No, check, Patriot!
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. They had to go for it with such little time remaining. Coming in from that outside linebacker spot to bury him for a loss of 7. That one looks like he'll throw here. Steps away to his left. Now he'll let it go on the run. Thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. A great read, and it's picked off. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to head back onto the field. Well, this is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because now is not going to erase what's happened during the game. So after it's over, you're going to go to the film, find out where the game was really lost. But this is not a situation now where you're going to make up for anything.
We'll see what they do here. He's going to let it fly. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. A great read, and it's picked off.